Yo, JD here, Teolimus. And as you can see, we are back on F1 2021 here today, and we return with some league racing for the British Racing Series BRS Round 2 at Monza. And currently in this championship, we are 10 points behind TTM Rusty, or ETE Rusty, as Figure's game tag is now. And coming into here, I was feeling quietly confident, because Monza used to be a track that I really struggled at. But on this game, and since a few patches ago, quite a long time ago on this game, you can't completely demolish the curbs anymore and use it as a ski jump. So now you have to actually take it as best as you can without mounting the curbs, and that's something that really did suit me. And because of that, my pace, I just felt so confident around here. And you can see coming to end of Q1, you can see the gap between the drivers. It is extremely close. So going into Q2, we tried the medium tyres, but the delta is quite big between the soft and the medium. So if you could start up mediums, then you'd be in a very favourable position. To 20.5, this is a 10th away to ET Rusty. So the pace looks like it's there at the moment. And actually, my qualifying, as of recently, I've been quite satisfied with as well. So what we're going to do here is, as we always do in Q2, try and be the last man across the line, you can see by the timer. And I'm actually changing my brake bias going into turn 1, which is something I don't do that often, but felt it allowed me to brake a little bit later and less chance of locking the rears. And you can see we're going to change it back again to 50 for the rest of the lap. And as we come towards the end of the lap, I always go back off if I was inside the top 10, but as we're outside it, we're going to complete this lap. And going across the line, it's a 19.6, a purple last sector, so pretty strong pace once again, and just over a 10th away. And going into Q3, this is going to be my first lap that I did. It was almost perfection. The first two sectors were very strong, and we do a banker of a 19.5.
Faster,
but I knew in that last sector there was still quite a bit of time to find. So yeah, the raw pace is definitely good, but it was actually the race pace that was even more promising than the qualifying. So now this is Q3, and we want to get back into this championship. ET Rusty said before is probably the fastest driver on Xbox right now in terms of raw pace. So to be this close to him in the first Q1 and Q2 definitely gave me quite a bit of confidence. So coming through into here, let's see if we can do this first sector as we did as our banker. And we're going to be slightly down, but only 200s down. You hug the right hand side here, you do minimise the track. You can see we're actually gaining quite a bit of time by keeping it nice and tight here, and it's going to be another 26.2, so that's a pretty decent first sector. Navigating through this and getting a really good exit coming off here. We're going to this first Lesbo corner. We missed the apex ever so slightly, but we're still carrying good speed. Let's see what we could do here, and that was pretty nice. That's a little bit on the exit, but gained more time in the mid part of the corner. Now going into Scari, probably the hardest corner on the track, and a little bit of a hesitation for that. You can see there was a double stab at the steering here, so not quite as committed as you could be. But we are about 800ths up going into Parabolica now. This is a place where I can gain a lot of time, keep it nice and tight exit. You can see the delta, we are getting a lot of time, but is it going to be enough? As we're going to go across the line, it's a 19.3.
Yeah, that's my PB pretty much, so I'll take it.
And as I said there, that was my PB. I've only ever done a 19.3. 19.2 by Rusty. Over a 10th behind. I feel I could do it, but it would take a very, very good lap to do so. So GG to him. But once again, I think we were maximising the qualifying here like we did at USA as well. But coming to this, I felt like I was almost in the perfect position here. Like P2 or P3, I would have been very satisfied with because the race pace felt extremely strong. So we've got 4 lights, 5 lights here, and as they go out now, crucial to get a good start. Go through to here, and we get a slightly better start than Levi, but AMS Triss is trying to go through the centre, so we're going to go around the outside to get the inside for turn 2, and do we get this move done? Yes, we do. So now we're up into P2, and that was almost a perfect start here. But now we have the task of trying to stay within the DRS zone of ETE Rusty, but coming through into here, going a slightly too hot, turning too wide, and almost losing the car. On the exit, you can see that has given him a couple of tenths advantage. The gap is up to 1 second, but as I said before, I felt like the race pace was probably the best pace I've had on F1 2021 in terms of, yeah, just the speed I was having in the race. And the longer the race went on, I felt the setup I was running as well, which I'm running 7.4 wings. If you want access to the full setup, then make sure you join my YouTube membership, because I do post it, the full setup after every single race. But the artifact, my teammate has gone out of the race, and what has this done? This has actually brought out the virtual safety car, which is fairly interesting. So we're just going to skip on ahead just a bit. And yeah, Rusty apparently was running a very low downforce, so as the race would go on, really the race should swing a lot more into our favour since with the higher wings. But now we've got the virtual safety car, and it's crucial that we try and stay as close as we can. But as we come through into here now, if you look up here, 0.018 of a second.
Wait for green.
Oh my fucking god. Are you serious?
You have a drive-through penalty.
And that is our race.
Fuck!
Green flag.
Pretty much over. And
Fucking serious.
but if we jump ahead into a different reality, this is what I felt could have happened in this race. And this is a practice session just before we went into lobby. This is against Rusty, Levi, and a few other people from the league itself. And if we're going to stay on board here for quite a few laps, I feel this really shows of the pace that I could have potentially delivered in this race. And it doesn't matter, of course, because this is only practice and stuff, but this is the reason why I felt just so confident going into the race. And with that virtual safety car, although I was angry at the time, it's my fault 100%. And I actually went and checked the rules of real F1 after the race to see what the penalty was, and no matter how much you go over the delta, it still gives you a drive-through penalty. Even if you're 1,000th over, it's going to give you a drive-through, which, yeah, it's just how it is. And I just really wanted to stay in within Rusty's DRS, but no, once you see this, I feel that we didn't even need to risk it that much. But at the time, I was just really conscious of not letting him get away, and unfortunately, yeah, the delta changes very quickly under the virtual safety car. But I should have left a little bit of, should have been a bit more conservative under that BSC, where in the past I've been too cautious. This time we were playing with fire a bit too much, and yeah, it is how it is. But in this practice session here, this is quite similar to the pace that the leaders were running in the race itself. So these lap times are pretty accurate, and you could see the two up ahead of me, Rusty and Levi, are running very low downforce. They said like 3.4 or 3.5 wings. We're running 7.4, and the more this race goes on, the more the tyre wear advantage swings in our favour, and the more downforce we have through the corners as well. So it doesn't really matter anymore. And you can see with the high downforce we had so much better traction. And this is only on lap 3 of the race, and gonna get past Levi here. And now let's see what our pace would have been like compared to ETE Rusty as well. As I said, these lap times were pretty much exactly the same as what happened in the race as well. And yeah, it's just a big shame, because I really wanted to have a good battle up the front. And yeah, if you haven't watched the stream, then I know this is spoiling it a little bit, but there is still a bit more to come as well, so yeah, stay tuned for that. But you can just see going through these corners, Rusty going up wide as well, Levi making a bit of a mistake there. And I just felt like going into this race, we had the fastest race pace going into it, and yeah, that's why I was just so gutted about it. But you know, sometimes that's what happens in league racing when you make mistakes. Can't always have a perfect race, and sometimes you make mistakes. And yeah, I made a mistake in that one, and I will definitely be learning from it in the future as well. But you can see the more the race goes on, the more comfortable we are, and we're just going to be going over the next few laps. We're just going to be saving the ERS. You can see we're back up to 70% here now, pulling away from the cars behind. And I think this is the point where I decided to really try and show how much pace I do have. You can see we're not even using the DRS here at all. And although he's running much lower downforce, since we have the slipstream and getting a much better momentum off the corners, it doesn't really even matter that he's running that much lower wings. And you can just see the slipstream again is really coming in nicely for us. To cut through this last corner, you can see we just got a lot more grip coming through here. And if we were in this lead train in the race, then an overcut is very possible, because the medium tyres are so slow. You don't really get that much of an undercut on it. So with this tyre wear as well, I think we could have gone a bit deeper into the race as well. But you can see Rusty goes side by side here, and this is a really good lobby to do just before the race itself. And now we're going to see what the speed is like directly compared to Rusty himself. So go through to here, he's going to suffer with a little bit more of the dirty air now. So let's see how much that actually affects him. And coming through into here, you can see him get really nice speed through here. You can already see a gap is starting to form. With that dirty air, if you're running lower wings or lower downforce, dirty air effect is a little bit worse than it is with the higher downforce. So go through Ascari, navigating through this very nicely. And you can see it again, the gap is about half a second. So we're going to be pushing here now, because I felt like I had the ability to actually break out of his DRS as well. And this is the point where people might start thinking about pitting for tyres, but our tyre wear was still so good with this high downforce that we could go quite deep into this race. And you can see the gap is 0.8 of a second, so he does have the DRS. He is closing back in now. So we change the brake bias to 51, and let's see if we can actually break out of this DRS on this lap. So that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. And this lobby was directly before the race as well, so wouldn't really been time for many major setup changes. And psychologically, this is what I was hoping for coming into the race, for him to know that I had this speed. And you can just see that we are almost out the DRS, so already almost losing the car here, just pushing a little bit too much. But the gap was up to 1 second just there, so we're going to keep pushing once again. You can see the gap to James B has been extending quite quickly as well, as we're going to go through Ascari, taking that very nicely. And you can see we're getting all the time here, and I think Rusty, as you can see by the minimap, has made a mistake, just pushing maybe a bit too hard to try and stay in the DRS. So yeah, after this I was feeling so good coming into this race. But yeah, when you do the league race itself, that is where it counts. So that is the pace that could have been. But now going back to reality itself, you're about to hear probably a few more frustrations in 2 seconds. Reality is that we have a drive-through penalty. So, yeah, it is what it is. When you make these mistakes, no one has a perfect race all the time, and yeah, that was just 100% my mistake. Just a bit too eager. Didn't anticipate how much the delta would go down so quickly. So our race from here on out is quite a painful one, in all honesty, where I prepared a day before in advance. I was really looking forward to the race itself, and then you're back in P17, pretty much last, and yeah, you've got all this work to do. So I never give up. I'm always going to try my best, and sometimes it's really important not to give up, because you actually surprise yourself of where you can come back to. So you can see the gap is 10.3 to Ermine. Now the gap's down to 8.1. So pacing these tyres was pretty nice at the stage of the race, as TTM kind of in a bit of a issue here. So we're going to get past him. And yeah, the problem is everyone outside the top 10 is going to start in mediums, and when they go to the softs at the end of the race, they're just going to be so much faster. So my only chance is to beat people who are already on the softs. And you can see this is a laps where they started to pit, and I didn't have any issues with my tyres until around lap 10 or something like that, because I was running quite high downforce. And if you didn't know, high downforce does give you better tyre wear, and that's why I think even if we didn't stay in Rusty's DRS zone, I think we could have had the pace to get back in it as well. But it's all if, buts and maybes as we're coming through to. So a lot of people are pitting now, so a lot of the soft runners, so it's pretty much most of the medium runners who have stayed out here. So we've gone up into P8, and you can see we don't have any real issues with our tyres at all at this stage here. So we're just going to keep on going again. Now we have the tyre indicator. We've got to lap 13 on these tyres. We are losing some pace now as the leaders are coming past. So it's actually AMS Triss who is leading this race. Rusty's in a net P2, and it's Levi in a net P3. And the only thing I was hoping for now was a safety car. Like Morris just retires there, or left the session. I was hoping it might trigger the safety car, because if a safety car came out now, it'd be absolutely perfect for us. We'd have much fresher tyres, and yeah, if it came out now, it'd be absolutely perfect. But we decided to box. No point stay out now, otherwise we're just losing more time than necessary. And yeah, now we're going to go on the mediums, and yeah, not really too much we can do at this point. We just got to keep persisting, and hopefully something swings our way, as we got ERL Cosme up ahead of us, Snipes up in the P12, and we've got 13 laps to close in over a 10-second gap. It's going to be a pretty difficult job to do. So now we're out in P16, and yeah, still got a lot of work to do in this race. But as we get to the start of lap 18 now, you're just going to see this gap. Some people have come out ahead of us, and they're on the soft tyres, and the softs are just going to be so much faster. As you can see, they've already pulled away quite quickly. Got BRS Ermine behind us now, who is on the soft. So we're not going to fight this particularly hard at all. There really is no point at this stage. Maybe in the last couple of laps we could claw something back, but the delta between these tyres is just so big. There really is no point. You can just see the traction he has. Absolutely no contest. But you can see we have actually managed to keep up with him fairly well. So he is dragging us along nicely. But this is a huge part of the race here, and apologies in advance because you will be hearing some swearing. So if you don't like swearing, then mute your audio now for the next few minutes or so. But if you look at the top of the screen, someone's retired from the race.
Oh no!
But officials aren't looking to push for a safety car.
Fuck!
Just be careful.
Why can I not pit then? Oh, fuck!
If we just took a gamble and pitted, then that could have changed our race completely. But we reacted too late. I think there was time to do it. I think I should have just done it. I don't know why I didn't do it at all, because there really was. I'm not losing out on anything at all. Even if it was a virtual safety car, I might as well just take the gamble. And at this stage, I still felt quite good because a lot of people haven't pitted because it's still quite close to the end of the race. And now we're on almost fresh, soft tyres. But if you look at this car coming down the pit straight here now, I can confirm that's actually a ghost car of TTM Kai, who has disconnected from the race. So he's not in the race at all here. And you are going to hear a bit of language, so please mute yourself if you don't like it.
Safety car
serious,
conditions
man.
and cannot overtake. Return the position.
What is this game, man? This game is so fucking shit. How many fucking glitches do we have?
And yeah, this continues on just for a little bit while longer, so I will let you listen.
And remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until
I'm not gonna catch up in time, man. Fuck, I can't go, man.
Return the position immediately.
Are you fucking serious?
There is no overtaking during the safety car period.
Fuck this game.
Give that position back.
Oh
We are under
my
safety
God,
car
man.
conditions and cannot overtake. Return the position.
What the fuck is this game? Codemasters, just go fuck yourselves. Make fucking shit games. I'm not a developer that's been so fucking shit at making games.
And yeah, not really too much to say on that. But what we're going to do now is go for the fastest lap of the race. That's the only thing we can do at this stage, as we're about to hear a little bit more.
Codemasters, just make something else. When is it ever not? What the fuck, man?
And yeah, looking back on this, yeah, I think I was also angry at the time because the safety car came in like a lap early, but looking at the rules,
Fucking bullshit.
they want to try and allow 2 laps, or they need to allow 2 laps of racing to go to the end of the race, so that's something that's fair. I think the only thing I was just angry about is just that the guy's not in the race and it's not letting me overtake. But I think looking back at this, I should have just overtaken him and got the 5-second penalty or something like that, and then got it removed at the end of the race. But yeah, that was just frustrating, being held behind that car. It was slowing me down as well, even when I was overtaking him. So yeah, otherwise I don't think we'd have caught up to the back of the pack, but you can see from Ermine, he is pretty close to the back of it, and I think we had the pace to do something if we could have gotten to the back of it there. So yeah, I think the only thing to be annoyed about this race is that I couldn't really overtake that ghost car properly and catch up to the pack. But no, but the virtual safety car, that was my mistake, and should have just gambled to go into the pits when that incident happened as well. But we do the fastest lap of the race. But yeah, it's frustrating to watch, and you know, end of the race, not really much we could do there, and yeah, just one of those races. And yeah, I know people like to have a laugh when they get angry and stuff as well, which you know, I have a laugh myself. But you know, when you prepared for quite a long time for a race and you're passionate about it, then the emotions get a hold of you. And as I said before, this is something that I will probably always will be. I'll always wear my heart on my sleeve and show the emotions. And you know, it's much easier to be calmer when you
never done that. And then
give yourself time to analyze and look at the race back. But in the moment, when you really are competitive and you really want to do well, I know it's quite cringy. I know, but
so many fucking
yeah, when you're super passionate about it and you felt you had the pace to win, and you made your own mistake to get there in the first place.
Had it for 10 years.
Sometimes the frustration just gets the better of you a bit, but yeah, it is what it is. But I don't think it was particularly the game's fault too much after looking at that so much. I think just the ghost car thing was a bit annoying. I think if someone disconnects from the race, then
it's been out for.
Yeah, I don't think their ghost car should be slowing you down because they're not actually in the race. But it is what it is.
F1 is such a
championship.
sport.
The Rusty's
got unlimited amount
gonna
of
be 35 points. Or no, how many points?
Like, at least
25.
Give it to another developer.
No,
to
35
rotate,
points
so
ahead.
they have 2 years
10 points
to make
ahead.
the
So
game.
yeah, 35 points ahead of us now.
People are paying.
It's only an 8-race championship, so I won't do a Lewis Hamilton and say we're out the championship already, but
it's the fucking truth.
We're gonna have to have some big results now if we want to get back into this championship.
Why can't I overtake a ghost
I'll always
car,
keep pushing. I'll always do my best. Thank you for people for watching that as well during the stream, even though it was a bit of a disaster. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. Make sure you sign up to Bybit below in the description and the QR code here. Anyone who makes a deposit and registers there will be entered into the F1 22 Championship Edition giveaway, along with many monthly prizes to come. So thank you so much to everyone who's done that, and I'll be catching you very, very soon.
Thank you for coming to member during the stream, and
peace.